tapped is going to be $1 trillion market. And if you take 10 years as a span, you're talking about 100 billion, which means that we can have an incremental benefit in the GDP to the tune of 4 to 5% per year. British government came up with a white paper very recently and has found that housing augmentation, housing improvement is going to be the game changer in that particular country. So multiplier effects of housing are enormous: national income, capital formation, jobs, human dignity, health, and quality of life. Everything is linked with this. We need to look for game changers. We have been looking at the problems, and here I am to talk about the possible solutions. We don't have to go on harping on the problems all the time. What can be the game changers? The first is the enabling environment conducive to flow of organized private sector role. We don't have to always depend on the government. We know very well under the JNNURM, CAG came up with a report that in the last 6 years, 4.16 lakhs houses, that means only 70,000 houses have been made per year. This is the hard reality. If we continue to depend on the government, I don't think that we can make much progress. We must bring private sector. Land policy. I don't think in the country we have done any land use policy studies. We have not done any study so far on that, and we don't have any institution. I'll come to the land matter later because I've got some views on that. Rent control is the biggest obstacle we know very, very well for creation of the rental housing, and what is happening we know that very well. So we need to have solution-centric approach covering FSI, construction technology, PPP, consortia formation, and all that. Why rental housing is important? My friend Mr. Satyanarayana talked about that. In many parts of the world, developed world, 30 to 50% of housing is served by the rental. In the US, for example, we have now got 32%. In the UK, it is 30%. Part of that social, part of that the private. But the fact is that along with ownership, we must have an optimal mixing of rental. Land-related issues always bog us down. And I'll straight away talk about the myth of land scarcity. Believe me or not, land scarcity is a myth. Now look at the number of houses that are today short. We are talking about 18 million houses. We talk about an FSI of 4. Maharashtra government has allowed an FSI of 4. If you talk about 10,000 square meters, you have got 40,000 square meters of construction. Take a 30 square meter house, you can make 1,333 houses per hectare. To cover this particular shortage of 18 million, you require not more than 15,000 hectares in the whole country. Look at the countries, maybe land mass, it is 3 million square kilometers. You look at the wasteland, it is 50 million hectares that we have got, and we can't find 15,000 square kilometers. We need to also look, out of the box. Look at the amount of, space that the cars are today occupying from the public, they may be kind of a domain. Each car takes 15 square meters of space. We are adding 1 million cars a year in the urban areas. That means we are giving away 1,500 hectares of urban land for only parking. So land scarcity is a pure myth. I don't want to get into that. We are doing a study at IIMA to look at the land scarcity, whether it is a myth or truth. We'll come out with that report, and I will show to you that it is a pure myth because land is being used for a sink, for putting all kinds of wealth, unaccounted or accounted. We need to therefore look at, say maybe augmenting land supply. We need to look at, the carrot and stick approach. We can probably, maybe tax vacant, the land in an ascending manner so that people do not go for hoarding and speculation in land. Rent Control Act is something, which is today, very, very, say vital and obstacle. In Gujarat, say they thought about it and they came up with something, which is going to be right like music to the ears of the investors. What they have done, very simple. I've got the book here, which, say is on the Rent Control Act 2011. And two, say maybe exemptions that they have given are very significant. What do those two, exemptions say? It says any premises constructed on or after the commencement of so and so, so and so. That means houses that are constructed after 1/4/2001 are exempted from Rent Control Act. And second thing that they've said, any premises which have been built even earlier but are lying vacant or are self-possessed are outside the purview of Rent Control Act. You can simply have a contractual agreement which could, say maybe drive that particular transaction. It is something, say which is colossal from the angle of an opportunity for all the developers, all the investors, and they can, maybe look at this. FSI, I already talked about that, the 4 in Hyderabad, in Andhra Pradesh, you have got a total unfreezing. Believe me or not, when there is anything in short supply, we must use it, the most efficiently. So increasing the FSI, using the technology, best practices from all over the world is going to help us in making houses at a much lower, the level of land than what we need. We need to learn what has happened in Singapore, what has happened in New York, what has happened all across the world. I don't want to get into that because in Singapore, an FSI of 10, 15 is common. In, say maybe Manhattan, the 22 is common. Just 2 minutes. We need to, to look at cost efficient, and I want to just maybe take, maybe 1 minute to explain that we can set up e-courts. These contracts can be registered, there can be virtual hearing, say through Skype, and we can deliver judgment so we can resolve. Because it is the dispute resolution mechanism which is at today the back of all the problems. We need, to therefore look at, the possible solutions, use technology, and deliver kind of, justice within maybe days, within a month, and thereby see to it that rent control, say contracts or rent control, say maybe things can be, say over all, risk mitigation. We can learn from, say many, other people. We need to look at out of the box innovative production business models. We don't have to stick to one. We need, to look at, say, kind of a solution that we have come up with hostels. We can have, some service apartments. We can prefab houses. We can be, say, thinking of, the houses that can be rented by hours, days, months, or weeks. Things like that. We need to have congenial factors and incentives. I'm not here to demand special incentives from the government, barring the fact that we should have a kind of an equal treatment, as Mr. Satyanarayana said. In Gujarat, for example, the rented premises attract 3 times the tax. I'm saying that particular thing should be done. Summing up, open-minded, totally out-of-the-box approach, boldness in thinking and action, and conversion of land into demand and need-based housing solutions. This is what I would like to suggest to this forum, and we'll take this particular thing forward and ensure that we are able to have a slum-free India in the year 2020. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dagaji. I quickly turn now 2 minutes to Mr. Amish Devgan from Z Business.
Yeah, sir. My question to you, Mantri, you were talking about single window. We have heard about a lot of single windows with 2 and 3 exhaust fans. What's your take on that?
As I mentioned, I think we need one single window of local authority, revenue authority, the state government, as well as central government. Right now, to construct one building, we have to go through 60 state permits. It may be the firefighting, it may be the environment clearance, it may be the revenue clearance, and so on. So my whole submission is that if we are able to construct the building in 48 hours, why not this single window gets open, all under one, state, central, Sarva Dharma Sambhav Jaisi. We open one window where the permits will be given in 48 hours. I can assure everyone we will reduce the cost by 20% if this window is created.
With builders, with developers, there is one thing, that is credibility of builders, dealers, and overall industry. What's your take on that?
I believe if you bring more transparency in terms of giving the permits, having the more transparent land transaction, which is slowly happening. Look at the quantum of the black money